Hi parents, this is Mrs. Roundy, and I've been getting a lot of confusion about how this class works, and I just realized that starting in the second semester, you guys did not get the benefit of a back to school night where you got to meet me and talk with me and to see how this class is run. So I'm going to give you just a brief breakdown of how my class works and how you can help your student and what my goal is with this class. So first of all, what I told the students the first day is that we're going to be using Canvas a lot. I don't use a lot of late work at all, usually, unless they come and talk with me and work something out. There's a reason for it. Because in the real world, they're not going to be able to turn things in late without getting fired or deducted. It's just not going to work. And the other thing is we use Canvas a lot. So the very first day I had them get onto Canvas, show them how to work it. If you've never been on Canvas before or you don't know where to look for things, this is just a brief overview of how Canvas is working and how I'm using it to help your students to succeed. So when your students log in, and they will come to their homepage, and here they will see notifications if I've sent out announcements, things like that. And what I told them the first day, and I had them do, and I hope they did it, is if they go over here into their settings, they can change this email address to something they use more frequently. And also they can add in a text number so that they can get notifications when I update things, post assignments. If I send out announcements, it'll give them there. They can also have their notifications set to receive notifications when things are due, not just due date, they could get it daily if they wanted to. They can have announcements given ASAP when things are graded, invitations, whenever they've submitted a comment or I've given a comment. It'll give them the opportunity to change how they want to be notified here. When they go to financial literacy in their class, they're going to see over here on this side, this is my screen, so you're seeing what I see, but over here they'll have a to-do list, just like I have a to-do list of what I need to grade. They'll also see what's coming up as far as what's due this next week. If there's more, they can put this down. And underneath here, if I've given them feedback, they're going to see feedback comments right here that I've given them on their assignments, and they can see all of those things right there. Where they're going to want to go all the time is to modules. Modules is where they will find all of their assignments, what we're doing and when, and also pages on how to do those things. So when they go in here, you're going to see units. This was our very first day. I had them get onto Canvas. We worked through it. I had them give introductions to themselves. And this is a discussion board, so they would go into introductions, and they would just click on reply and respond to these questions that I've given them here. After they've responded, they'll be able to see all of the other responses that people have given and be able to reply to them. This is in preparation of any group activities or discussions that we might do in class. Then, at the end of the whole thing, if they wanted to, or they could go back to modules, either way, they can click on next, and it takes them to the next page or the next thing in sequence that I've got going on. I also read through the syllabus with them. They were supposed to come home and read through and discuss this with you. You should have checked your email and received a link from me and been able to submit your Google form that you understood the syllabus. If you have not done this yet or you did not get this link, please email me. I would be happy to send that to you guys again. They can click on this page right here, and this will give you the syllabus of what's expected in my class, what we'll be learning, how things are graded, grade scale, what we'll be using. Again, Canvas and the internet is helpful. If you don't have a lot of access at home, I'm here before school, after school, at lunch. I'm happy to help if we need to make other arrangements. Willing to do so. Zero tolerance policy on plagiarism, how we do participation points, and my late work and accommodations. Again, late work not accepted except if it's been worked out with me and needed to be arrangements. Something's happened. If they didn't understand an assignment and they come in the next day and talk to me and we work it out, I'm willing to work with things. I just need to know what's going on. But if they do too much late work or they expect late work, they'll just fall behind, more and more behind, and it doesn't do them any good. Also, if you don't want to do the Google form, you are also more than welcome to print this off and just send it to me through your student. Back in here into modules, and We took a pre-test. This was not put on their grades other than they did it. If they have not yet taken it, they need to come in and take this test. We signed up for what was called H&R Block. This is a real-life simulation in which students make choices on housing and rent and things like this and learn how to pay bills and keep track of things and budget online. And we're going to be using this all the way through our class to help them in a real-life situation. And then here you're going to see a page. On these pages, so in these pages, at the beginning of before assignments, you're going to see what our objectives are, what we'll be kind of doing in class, a brief overview of it. Sometimes they'll show videos or give resources for the students to help them with the assignments if they weren't there for it. Then there'll be assignments. And in class, what we'll do is we will work on them. We'll teach the skills, we'll practice them in class, and then they'll go home and do an activity where they apply those skills. This values interview is one that hopefully you did with your kids, that they came and asked you what we spent money on, what values we hold as a family, etc. So those are the things that they will do in those activities. Some of the ones that maybe have videos and things like that are the more complicated ones, where we have to pay bills or we're creating a budget, etc. And so, for example, how to pay their bills on the H&R Block Budget Challenge. I created a cartoon video for them and I've demonstrated in class, so they should be able to do it pretty well. Here on balancing their checking account, I gave them a template that they could use, and I've just uploaded a new video that goes through and shows them how to do it as well if they're having a problem. So as you can see, I'm trying really hard to give them real life applications in everyday life and help them to be ready for real life when we get out there. We'll be doing, at some point here, they're going to be going shopping for groceries. Not really, but they'll need to make a menu, price list, and be able to balance their budgets, and they're going to be researching colleges and learning out how they can pay for those things. They're going to be looking at the stock market, how to do resumes and portfolios, how to do their own taxes and figure those out. We're all going to be looking at how they can protect themselves against fraud, buy a house, buy a car, get insurance, all the things that they're going to need in real life situations. These are all based off of the state standards, which you ever need to look at. You can go to the Utah State Education site, or I use the financeintheclassroom.org, which is where I get a lot of my activities from as well, and also has all of the standards that I'm required to teach and help your students to get through. So you can go here and click through what it is that they're expected to learn and know throughout this course, throughout all these things. So you are more than welcome to peruse these, ask questions, ask me anytime if there's any concerns at all. I'm going to briefly show you H&R Block Budget Challenge just so you know what the kids are doing on the H&R Block Budget Challenge. This was given to me by a student. Not only is this a great in-class resource to show them how they can do things and put them in a real-life situation, which I would do in class anyway. I just give them a fake job and they'd create their own budgets and have to pay bills and things would happen. This is actually doing it in a real-life way, plus they're competing and they can possibly win a scholarship and some money if they do really well at it. Either way, I'm not going to grade them on how well they do on it, other than that they're participating and trying and doing their best. So when we started, I had them sign up for the class. We went to vendor selections, and I'm playing right along with them, so I had to do all of this as well. We were picking our job. We talked about what a 401k was, how it affects their paychecks, and then it gives them a breakdown of what their gross pay would be and all their deductions and what they would actually get paid. They got to pick a bank and the options that are going to come out of the bank, whether they're going to have to pay fees, whether they're going to have to pay overdraft protection, minimum balances. And we'll be talking more about that, and we've just been talking about that with banks right now. So they're learning about those things as we go. They're going to have to pick their rent and pay auto insurance and their loans for their cars and cable. So they went through and made choices, and they didn't have to worry about it. There was really no right or wrong. It's just how they were able to do it. And now that we're playing the game, we created a budget so that they would know. And they have an information packet here, which you can go through with them. And this went through and showed them how their invoices are going to look. It gives explanation about how their contracts are going to be, what their billing statements are going to look like, their invoices, when they're going to get billed, how many days they're going to have to do things, the grace periods. So we're really teaching them a lot about how real life is going to work, what they're going to be seeing when they get in the mail out on their real own. Feel free to, at home, do this with them. Go look at your real bills that you're getting on every day and compare how it looks for you. So they're going to have cable bills, cell phone bills, credit card bills, etc. And we just talked about credit cards and how those work. And so they're very aware of that. So we set up a budget in our budget, H&R Block budget balance, right here. And they created one, and we put that all in so that they can budget and plan their money over the course of the game and know how things work. This prepares them for budgeting in their real life so that they can plan their money when it's coming in and out. They're getting emails, just like an online statement from a real life vendor, and they can then come in here and check their invoices. They would click on one of their things, see their invoice, see when it's billed, if there's any been fees or late payments, their account balances, when it's due. After they've gone through that, they can come in here to their bank and pay their bills, just like an online payment. And it shows them a check, so they get to practice check writing skills just like we've been doing in class. And then it'll show pending checks, and once they've processed, they're going to see account activity just like a real bank. So they're going to actually see like what you see when you go in and check your account balances online. They can view their statement online. They're going to see any fees, their current balances. So this is really giving them a hands-on, real-life way to look and see how life works in the real world and how to deal with it in the real world. All right. So, and there's always questions. I've given videos on how to do this. I've been walking through it, giving them class time to do this, and we're working through it as we go. And they don't know all of it right this second, but as we're doing it and as they're learning it, they're seeing what's happening and why it's happening the way it is. And they will hopefully understand by the end of this demonstration in this course. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to get a hold of me. I'm happy to answer questions, happy to help. Again, I'm here for the students to help them after school, before school. I'll stay in at lunch. Email me. We can Skype conference if we need to. Whatever I can do to help the kids, that's what I'm here for. On the home page for this class, I also have links to the different things that are going on in the class, discussion boards, current assignments, where things are happening. We're right here on banking right now in credit. We've just finished that. We're starting into consumer awareness. Consumer awareness will consist of fraud schemes, how we buy things, why we buy things, how commercials work against us or for us, and how we're being manipulated into those types of things. We'll also be talking about their careers, college choices, and then retirement and things like that. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that this clears things up somewhat. And again, if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. Thanks.